Hi guys, it's Nancy here, and sorry there's been a bit of a delay in my videos. I've picked up a horrible cold, so my voice is a little bit croaky. This is my final layout that I made for my Hey Little Magpie blog post that went up at the beginning of this month. And as you know, if you've seen my previous videos, I am doing them 9 by 12, and this is using a lovely piece of background paper from the Jen Hadfield's Simple Life. I decided to revert back to some of my older layouts because I'd been flicking through my albums and kind of having a look at, and taking a bit of inspiration from myself. And so I pulled out my stencils, which had been neglected, which I love, so I don't know why I've neglected them. And what I'm doing is just building up some texture in the background. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that I like putting texture on top of pattern paper. And I really love this background paper. It reminds me of Basic Grey. I love my Basic Grey, I am sad that it's gone. And this kind of pattern really reminds me of that. So I'm just using this sort of chicken wire stencil and some of my distress inks just to create that texture. I'm then going to also use some mists on the background as well. Just cleaning off my stencil there, which is getting quite good, go me. This is just where I keep my stencils. This is another of my faves. Again, this is a Tim Holtz one, and I just really like this. I'm just using some of the little ink daubers on just some pieces of wood that my dad made me, so they're just little homemade ones. And I do prefer the little circular ones actually, because just so you have a little bit more control. So again, I'm just building up that texture, and this is barn door. So I'm just putting that into the background there, and I said just creating some really kind of simple sort of layers, and going back over with walnut stain, I believe that one is. And I know that I kind of want it to just kind of go down a little bit there, because I'm going to put a square photo on here. And I think after doing these few layouts, I'm a bit more confident in doing the 9 by 12 size. As I said, I don't think I'll do another album that size. I've still got the whole of this album to finish, of course, but I do just like my 12 by 12. Here I'm bringing in a beloved roller stamp, again, being very much neglected. And I used to love this, and I love doing on my layouts, so I don't know why I haven't. I think maybe I got caught up in, not trends, but caught up in other stuff and other products. But I like this. I love these roller stamps. I can remember when I went mad for these Glitz design stamps, and yeah, and other people went mad for them, and they are fab, and they were just neglected, and I feel bad. So here again, I'm doing a technique that I do quite a lot, which is where I scratch the sprays into the paper. I like doing circles in this technique as well. So it's just another way of putting the ink onto a page. And again, the ones I'm using are all different Heidi Swap ones. So there's Chartreuse, there's Seafoam, and I think I also use tea. And again, just using the sprayer end just to put that down, and then also doing a few sprinkles. This is Dilutions Grey, and I just really like the kind of inky effect that it gives. So just going to do some splatters as well, and then of course I'm going to have to put that to one side to dry, which I still don't know where my heat gun is, so I'm just used to now. I go, right, I'm now going to go get a drink while I leave it to dry. But I really like how that came out, and the final effect. Oh no, I decided to add some Chartreuse as well. Just keep going and keep going. So if you haven't tried this technique, I do sort of say give it a go, because it's messy but not completely messy. I like using my stencils with ink rather than mediums, just because it's just easier. So just put that off to dry, and now I'm gonna come back once it's all dry, and now start to build my custards on top. I picked out several of the die cuts from the Simple Life one, because I knew there was one that said eat that I wanted to use. There was a picture of a cake that I wanted to use, because this is a photo taken, and this is Dundee cake that I was eating in Dundee. So we went to Dundee. We weren't there that long, because we took an excursion out to the place where they play golf. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. I've got it in my journaling and stuff. But we then came back and we just went to a lovely little cafe and had coffee and Dundee cake. So even though the picture, of course, is not cake, not Dundee cake, I wanted to use it. And the card, which came from, I cut out from one of the pieces, says, nothing brings people together like good food. And I thought, you know, it was good. The funny thing is, when I'm placing that cake down, where I kept trying to tuck it under, rather than eat, it just said fat, because I covered up the bottom bit of the E. So, I thought that was really funny. But, yes, so rather than saying eat, it looked like I made it out, just saying fat. But I think the way I placed it in the end, you could actually see that it was an E, not an F. But, that did make me chuckle. But yeah, so that was a die cut piece from the die cut pack. Also in the die cut pack, there was lots of there's like little teapots, and then there was like stacks of cups which had like little flowers in and stuff. Because there was florals on that card as well, I decided that they were going to work in quite well. So I just decided to just stack these up. I wanted to pull in this star because the 8 had sort of a wood grain effect, so I thought that would work fine. There's a floral piece that I'm bringing in there at the top, tucking a little clock in. When I'm doing these kind of layers, I sometimes use elements in the die cut pack that don't really mean much. That was like a bunch of flowers. I probably wasn't going to use that on something, so just cutting that down meant that I could pop those flowers behind, you know, so it just like looked like a little bouquet. So now I'm just trying to work out where to put that little flower thing, so I just end up sticking that up there. And I do cover up a lot of that background texture that I created, but you know, that's fine with me. I like it. You know, it's my layout. Who cares? So I'm just covering that up, overlapping a little bit over the photo. And because the mug in the picture is white as well, that looks quite cool. So I'm just looking here at what to use, and I'm going to end up using, I think I used the word smile on here, maybe. But I'm going to take off some of these puffy stickers. Again, just tucking them under some layers and bring a little pop of yellow in. And I do like, you know, mixing those puffy stickers in with paper layers, because it just brings a little bit of dimension. So again, there's another little floral piece that I'm going to end up... I end up not putting that sticker on there in the end. But yeah, I do like to have a play around with my different layers. So yeah, these puffy stickers are really fab. And I do like that they come with some word pieces, because it does help with the title. Even though this becomes more of a layer than any part of the title. But I do kind of like just how that looks there. And so that just says smile. And just brings in some of the blue from the floral clusters as well. I do decide I want to just pull something in at the bottom to put my title on. So I'm going to just go through here and find these different simple story ones, which, to be fair, I'm kind of running out of a few vowels and stuff like that, so I just kind of go through the browns and the reds and the oranges, the stuff that complement this layout, to try and make my title. And I think, you know, I've kind of used some of these to death, you know, and I think I need to be maybe a little bit ruthless and try and get rid of some if they, you know, they can't make titles and stuff. So I'm just looking here if I'm going to be able to get everything off that I need for my words. So of course I'm going to have the word Dundee, because that's where we are in this photo, and it's also Dundee cake. So I could have sped this up a little bit more, I do apologise. I'm going to use these, which are jelly bean soup ones. I really like these because I love the orange colour, but they're just the right size. I do still like these little tile stickers. I'm not over them, I don't care. I've got lots in my stash that really need to be used. So I'm actually going to build my title over that cake die cut. And I think I end up putting when in Dundee, eat cake. But you can also just read it as Dundee cake. I kind of like that. It was kind of a play on words. In my head, anyway. And I really like that. So, you know, I get to see my messy hair. While I lean over just trying to get those straight. Because, of course, the cake was curved. So it did kind of make it look a little bit weird. So I do end up going back and just using a little bit of wet glue to stick these down, because they have been on my stash for a bit of a while and are not necessarily as sticky as they once were. So again, just trying to find another one that I've got an E on, because E's are things that I have a shortage of. And so just going to play about with that. I don't end up bordering this layout. I think because the layers are quite white and bright and the background is dark, I think, you know, it looks okay. Part of me still just loves double mounting layouts and always will. But I don't do it for this one. So I'm just finishing putting my title down, and this bit doesn't show overtly well on the video, but you can see it much more in real life, and the photos that are on the blog. I will link the blog post down below, so you can go and check those out. I'm just moving one of those puffy stickers there, just so it would line up a bit better. So I hope you've enjoyed these videos. I said I was hoping to have some more videos out, but I say because I then got this horrible stinking cold, I just didn't do much. I was off work for a couple of days as well, so just not good. But hopefully this is like the last of the bugs I'm going to have for a while, and I can get back in the groove a bit. So I'm hoping to bring a couple of videos. I found a couple of older videos on my hard drive, so I'm going to get those narrated and up, because for some, when the technology was being the bane of my life, they got missed. So I am going to put those up in due course. So there'll be a couple of older videos, and I'm also going to do video talk through of how I'm going to document this year, and things like that, because I know a couple of people have said they want to see that. So I want to thank you everyone who has commented on my last couple of videos and said that it's nice to have me back. I'm glad that I've not lost all my viewers in the time that I've been off, but it's really fab to kind of be back, although not 100% how I wanted to be. It's good to be back. So I'm just going to be tweaking around, just sticking that last little bits of the wording down, and that is it. So thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye!